Hey guys, welcome back to Western Weather. For today, starting I've been on break because my computer's been acting up and I had to fix my computer too. So today I'm going to produce another special video about severe thunderstorm tags or just severe thunderstorms in general and tornadoes. So today I'm going to start with severe thunderstorms. The base warning, so a severe thunderstorm is hail of like a quarter size, which is about 1 inch in diameter and winds up to 58 miles per hour or greater. That is considered a severe thunderstorm. So you can see that in special marine warnings and stuff like that. Yeah, so these can be seen everywhere. You can even have them in Western New York. They're not rare. They're not like common too. It they're warning us because this is where the limit where 58 miles or greater could produce damaging thunderstorm damage. You got for considerable warning. This is saying there could be more damage with the already damaging thunderstorm, which is 70 miles per hour wind gusts and 1.7 inch, uh, 1.75 inch hail. Um, these these warnings come around in after the 2011 outbreak, where the deadliest tornado outbreak ever, and with the multi-tier impact-based warnings, or the IBW, for example, uh, notifies the public of severe weather and stuff like that. You also have PDS thunderstorm warnings, or PDS or destructive thunderstorm warnings. The actual warnings are destructive, but people say it's PDS. It could go in hand. Uh, hail up to baseball size, which is very destructive, could destroy anything with or 80 winds gust of 80 miles per hour or greater. Uh, Very destructive. These hail could just destroy everything with straight wind gusts. There's there's sometimes like a mix with this strong hail or just strong wind. Um, yeah. There's also a tornado possible tag with some of these within the 2012 updates to the warnings. They would have the products of tornado possible tags, then with the wind and hail tags. Uh, with the PDS destructive warnings, I will also say it could go also under as extremely dangerous situation, which is same thing. I think they would use PDS for tornadoes more often than not. Then you still have the extremely dangerous situation too. And so in Canada, it's defined as 90 kilometers an hour, to which is 56 miles per hour or greater, or hail at least 2 centimeters, which is about 0.79 inches, and rainfall. And it has to have that rainfall criteria too, which is about greater than 50 millimeters or 2 inches in 1 hour, or greater than 75 millimeters in 3 hours, which is 3 inches, which is that can also produce a tornado. There's I can go on, but it's pretty much the same. Usually around that 50 to 60 mile per hour range, and around that 1 inch range, you could see the hail in there's always a tornado warnings. So if we go, I want to talk about there's considerable tornadoes. You don't really see those often. Um, there is. It really just it's pretty much an upgraded severe thunderstorm warning with the next topic. I want to talk about PDS. That wording you hear, or particularly dangerous situations, used by National Weather Service a lot with damaging or life-threatening storms. Particularly dangerous situation also has there's watches and warnings. It was first used in the early '80s. Well, and throughout the '80s they used this off and on. And this is only applicable to severe thunderstorm warnings, tornado warnings, and flash flood watches or warnings, or severe local storm polygon events. It could be put on like winter storms, high winds, and hurricanes later on, but this hasn't been done. One enhanced threat as these enhanced wordings were put on. These watches have these watches are always happen once a year or so. Usually during a moderate or high risk, we have seen like about 2 or 3 on top of my head of like there's a PDS thunderstorm warning or not thunderstorm watch or PDS tornado watch. I also want to talk about the other non-polygon storms, not instant storms. You got the PDS flash flood or off and on flash flood emergency. We've seen that not too far from our region in Buffalo with the flash flood emergency near Birmingham's office, which is just right next door. Um, it it's usually associated with hurricanes because tropical storms and hurricanes, tropical cyclones produce a shit ton of rain. So, yeah, just so PDS and emergency goes hand in hand in most times. PDS high wind warning. This is used to not like there's gonna be like hurricane force winds. We had a PDS high wind warning or not too long ago in like 2018 or something like that. It's supposed to be for hurricane force winds, and we had something like that not too long ago. There's PDS red flag warnings. There's also extreme red flag warnings. I think that's also issued too. I think they're going hand in hand. The latest one was in 2022 with Norman's office issuing a PDS red flag warning with extreme fire behavior conditions, which is extreme dry fuels, humidity as low as 8%, and winds gusting up to 60 miles per hour is prime conditions for fires to spread. Get this, as I said, there's a PDS severe thunderstorm watch. These are usually for like strong to persistent derechos, which are straight wind along with strong wind, straight wind damaging windstorm associated with thunderstorms. The PDS watches are more rare than the PDS's warnings. I feel don't see them as much. You got PDS special marine warning. This is on the more rare of the warnings. Special marine warning are issued to inform people with small crafts on water, which is boaters, even aircraft go for the special marine warnings too. In 2018, Baltimore and that Washington D.C. area had a PDS status of a gust front approaching Chesapeake Bay. Sometimes PDSs are issued for population. Like if we look at we're gonna talk about the tornado emergency tags or the PDS tornado. There's two different there are actually different warnings, but um uh sorry population could be a factor in some of these, and I know let's see, the Moyes office actually has some criteria for a purpose of using heightened warnings. Somewhere like Buffalo don't. If they see strong rotation, debris balls, and a tornado, they'll issue the PDS. They could issue the observe tag. They could use the radar confirmed tag. They could use even the PDS or TOR-E or tornado emergency. Tornado observes is either radar confirmed, which means radar confirms the rotation is that strong that there must be a tornado on the ground without someone confirming it. Then you'll have weather observers finding the actual tornado. Uh, there's a PDS special marine warning, usually issued for there's for smaller niche storms. Lake effect is one of those, and in 2013, the 2013 storm, there's and there was hurricane force winds. It was a special weather statement rather in the Buffalo area. On February 24th, 2019, there was a PDS for hurricane force winds off the lakes. Then you have the lake effect snowstorms. Because lake effects only has a lake effect snow warning. I feel like they should have something like a lake effect blizzard warning or like a special lake effect special weather statement or something. So special weather statements has no specific weather purpose because tornadoes indicate there's a tornado could happen or is on the ground. Special weather statements has the lake effects, winds, special weather statements like that. And we're the Buffalo has lots of lake effects, and Buffalo is known for lake effects. So yeah, we got PDS tornado watches. There's a few this year. There's something higher than normal risk for EF2 or stronger tornadoes. Strong and intense tornadoes, even long tracked. That's what they use in the warned watched area. So, in inclusion with the PDS tornado watch also has significant hail and wind damage, probably with the damage. This hands warnings meant to alert the public of these threats. You don't want to desensitize tornadoes, especially down in Tornado Alley down south where they experience a lot more tornadoes than here in Buffalo, or even up north by in Canada. Under current criteria, such would be issued for significant tornadoes is 80% or greater. PS tornadoes watches are often issued on a high-risk day. For severe weather, though, they have been issued in high and moderate events. I'm talking about the SPC's Storm Prediction Center's convective outlook, where there's five modes. There's marginal risk, means there's little to no. There's a slight risk. There's some scattered. Enhanced, it's a little more widespread. Dangerous, then life-threatening for moderate and high. in experience, the modes don't matter because like slight risk one day could produce amount like a high end could do. A high end moderate can produce. It really depends on like the chemistry in the air. Like sometimes they also miss. They should have issued this high risk, but they didn't. But they usually issue a mesoscale discussion where they like say this place will be upgraded to a high risk. High risk are usually once per year, and they're usually if it's issued in that area, it's pretty rare. There's only been one high risk in New York, which is the 1998 storms. And we also had a moderate risk not moderate, enhanced risk this year. So, yeah. Get the PDS tornado warnings. Really, just saying, a PDS tornado warning could be something like Derry in Illinois, that EF3 tornado in 2021 from I'm using here. It's pretty much enhanced warning to warn the public for this is a dangerous and destructive tornado. Usually it's observed or radar confirmed if it's that strong and producing damaging hail and damaging wind gusts. These are one of the first PDS warnings issued like flash flood watches, but this next wind chill, they're really rare. Uh, Historical in life, this happened in Minnesota because it's very close to the Arctic air than like New York or other places. PDS, this in 1996, this warning has it wind chills that will range between 30s and 45 below zero today, continuing to fall through Monday morning, and gusty western and north wind combined with these extreme cold temperatures will go almost up to 65 below zero. Very cold. Um, very very cold. Wind chills colder than 50 below can expose flesh could freeze only in 5 minutes. So this was for southern Minnesota, west central Wisconsin through that day on that Tuesday, and they issued a PDS for that. This is a very There's other PDSs like theoretically can be applied to any kind of water warning, say like a PDS heat advisory, sure, be excessive heat, like excessive heat warnings. I don't know about air quality. Uh, I don't think there would be a PDS air quality, but you never know. Let's look. All of these could be theoretically could swept down the PDS criteria. Got some severe thunderstorms. So you can put PDS on everything, and yeah, you could put a PDS even on like a tropical storm here. All these are under tropical storm warning or flash flood warnings. I also want to talk about tornado emergencies. A lot of these changes came out of the 2011 super outbreak, which is the largest, costliest, and one of the deadliest outbreaks of all time through April 25th to 28th, 2011. Lots of EF5 tornadoes. This was a 3-day event. This was very bad. Largest hail recorded was 4.5-inch hail, which is very destructive. 324 fatalities and over 3,000 injuries. And there's some severe thunderstorms, like 24 non-tornadic deaths. This was a $10 billion disaster, and this some of these tornado outbreaks has it over spanning from Texas to New York, even some of Canada. You got some tornadoes up in New York, all the way down to down south, where the strongest tornadoes were very powerful mid-level jets. 180 to 100 knot level jets are crazy. 41 tornado watches were issued that day, and 10 of them were PDS watches, and 15 severe thunderstorm watches. It was a just bad outbreak. They issued a high. There's an intense. There's a tornado emergency declared. Like large wedges were seen. I'd say I would say April 26th was one of the worst ones. Buffalo was in a slight risk that day on April 27th when the high risk was issued. There was just Philadelphia, Missouri was destroyed by EF5 tornado. This was the storm. There's lots of tornado emergencies. There were like over 20, I think. There was lots of reports of wind, hail. There was four on April 27th. There was 4 EF5s, the most deaths and injuries. There was 11 EF4s, 19 EF3s, 36 EF2s, and 78 EF1s. Then 68 with a tag on it, with one on Ontario, Canada, was also counted on this table. No other day had EF5s, or even EF4s. All other days had EF3s, EF2s, EF1s, etc., etc. Some bigger tornadoes, Viola, Arkansas, Philadelphia tornado, Mississippi, one of the deadlier ones, one of the bigger ones. Coleman, Fairview, Hawako, Egypt, Arab, Alabama tornado. The Huckleberry Phil. There's lots of names, and a lot of people say the Franklin County tornado. They usually name these after where they go through. Smithville was also a big one. Flat Rock, big one. Tucson, Birmingham tornado. They had like out of all of these, the damage indications are like EF4, EF5. Yeah, if you look at radar, they do have an echo hook and some intense rotation. It was a bad outbreak, and it really changed the National Weather Service with implementing new warnings, advisories, watches, etc., etc. And the tornado emergency was issued a lot. So, while many tornadoes observed to be at larger than 1/4 of a mile has been documented to produce catastrophic damage, falling under the strong or violent categories on the enhanced Fujiya scale. Sorry. Shit, sorry. Using the enhanced Fujiya scale, EFU were unknown, no surveyable damage, but there was a tornado at one point, EF0, which Buffalo gets, EF0, 65 to 85 mile per hour winds, which is about like damage. EF1's 86 to 110, moderate damage, EF2 to which is 111 to 135, then 136 to 165. That's EF3 damage, which is severe damage. EF1 is moderate damage. EF2 is considerable damage. EF4 is 166 to 200, which is devastating damage. EF5 200 plus, which is incredible damage, or destructive or catastrophic from the when there was a tornado warning that was observed, there's no survey damage, meaning there's no tornado likely. But back to tornado emergencies, they're known for the term was first used in the May 3rd, 1999 outbreak, which was known as the Bridge Creek Moore tornado, just south of Oklahoma City, and large and destructive, and they issued the tornado emergency, and it's been on and off. And yeah, there's not been a lot. They're using one a year, like the high risk events, and yeah. Criteria. The Des Moines office I talked about earlier to motivate and provide the sense of urgency to persons in the path of the storm to take immediate shelter in a reinforced object that maximizes protection of these destructive winds, to communicate state, local, and county officials and emergency responders I should prepare for immediate search and rescue operations, to communicate the prepare and immediate medical emergencies evacuation measures and emergency shelters. So just damaging tornado. First, before using the criteria for Des Moines office, a large and catastrophic tornado has been confirmed either by radar confirms, which is the rotation is that strong, or has been actually observed by a weather chaser or just someone in the public or law enforcement, will continue for it to be long path, long lived. The tornado will have a high impact, which means just catastrophic damage. The tornado has expected to cause numerous fatalities, so they're expecting deaths from this tornado. There's other forecasters. The Weather Forecast Office in Jackson, Mississippi, defines a tornado emergency as an enhanced tornado warning that will be issued by National Weather Service Jacksonville to be a heightened risk for killer or violent tornadoes, EF rain or greater. Their criteria of tornado emergencies are radar indicated of a strong rotation. For Des Moines, it has to be confirmed. This can be radar indicated. Reliable reports of significant damage or of reliable reports of storm chasers or significant damage of large tornadoes, environmental conditions, support of a strong tornado, which is usually the case for PDS tornado watches. Nashville has its own criteria too. Tornado emergency, blah blah blah. Before the phrase can be used, a confirmed large tornado doing significant damage must be going through a highly populated area. So this has to be in actually Nashville. Radar must indicate a debris. So in correlation coefficient, you can see that. So if you go here, see you get correlation coefficient. This indicates if there's stuff in the air. It really depends where you are. So you could see this. You can see it if there's like a ball or like a black spot of, you know. And the tornado is expected to cause significant widespread damage and loss of life, which is mostly what this is. Has to be confirmed, has to be dangerous or catastrophic damage, and it must be expected for loss of life and widespread damage. There's lots of tornado emergencies. Most of these are EF2 or greater, or if they're in a populated area, it could even be F1, F2, F0s, F4. There's not many that's issued, but when you hit 2010, 2011, look at this. A lot of 2011, you just got a lot of these tornadoes. You got even without the 2011 super outbreak, it's just 2011's been it's just a shitty year. You got the Rainsville, it's just a shitty year for 2011. There's not a lot of EF. You get the Moore tornado, which is the latest EF5 tornado. But there's lots of EF4 tornadoes that should have been upgraded at EF5, some people think. The latest tornado emergency was May 30th. This could be outdated, but in Midland, Uptown, that was an EF2. But there was an EF4 for, I remember that Binghamton Blair tornado. That was one of the first tornado emergencies of the year. I think Greensville was also one of the stronger tornadoes of the year. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe. I know this is a very long video, but I also did take a long ass break. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. I like doing these in-depth videos. And yeah. Thanks. And goodbye.